welcome to Gorgeous Gray Movement YouTube channel. I have a very special guest here, Victoria Marie. Hello, my friend.
Hi.
Look at that hair. Show us how long it is. You had mentioned that it's been growing. Look at that. Like people would pay big bucks to have that gorgeous hair. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm knocking everything down. During COVID, it just like,
yeah.
And I never even thought to let it grow this long, but then I had no choice and I think I actually like it.
Yeah, it's so great. Well, let me introduce you to our audience so that they know a little bit more about who you are, if they don't already. She's pretty famous. She's an actress, producer, director. If you haven't heard, you are going to hear now. She has a documentary called The Gray is the New Blonde. Gray is the New Blonde. We're going to talk about where you can watch that movie. And she also just recently launched a box, a silver hair box. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit as well. And she is from California. And I'm following her. I'm seeing you're working out. I'm trying to figure out how to work out. I think you just hit the gym. You just got back to the gym. You're doing a lot of stuff in regards to health and just owning this beautiful way of aging gracefully and beautifully and owning what Mother Nature has just given us, right? So I love that. I love what you stand for. So let's dive in, Victoria. Let's talk to the women on here that are going to watch this story.
Okay.
Why did you let yourself go gray when the world says that's not okay?
Well, the first thing is, I don't care what other people think, but I didn't go gray because of that reason. I went gray because, well, the impetus was 9/11. So I'm from New York City. There I am living my life. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I had just opened a very high-end tanning salon at the base of the George Washington Bridge on the Fort Lee, New Jersey side. And, you know, like any business owner might do, I had stars in my eyes. I spent all my money. And then in that first couple of months, I was struggling. Now this is before 9/11. And then 9/11 hit. Well, I don't have to tell you because you know, you lived it too. It was a surreal and very horrible experience. Thankfully, I was not down there when it happened, but it's my home. I lost everything that day. So my business, I couldn't carry it for 6 or 8 months, depending, who knew. And so I decided I had to close. That was it. And when I closed, I was actually living at my salon underneath in a studio, a big loft studio, really. It wasn't small, it was huge. Because I needed to be at my place all the time. And then 9/11 hit. So now I had no money, no place to live. I had no job, nothing. So I went to North Carolina where my family is. And it's at that time, suddenly I had all this gray hair coming in. I had never noticed I had gray hair prior, except, you know, a few here and there. And honestly, I never even thought about it. It just, I don't know. I just didn't think about my gray hair or the few strands that I had. They were fine for me. And I had very dark hair, almost black. I can even send you photos if you'd like to see. So when my gray started coming in, I had 1 or 2 strands. You saw it because it was against black hair. But so 9/11 hit, and then all of a sudden I had all this gray hair. And they say stress does not cause gray, but I do not believe that, because my hair was like literally overnight. It seemed like there it was. And I wasn't in the frame of mind to worry about it, think about it, do anything about it. It just was there. But honestly, I kind of liked it. I was fine with it. It wasn't a traumatic thing for me. Like I have learned it is for so many women. So many women go through so many changes, and they have so many negative feelings about the gray, getting older. But I just didn't think about it. I don't know. It just didn't occur to me like, oh, I have gray hair. Now I have to cover it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that was
You
the
were cold
impetus.
turkey, where you were like cold
Oh,
turkey
yeah.
then. You just like, you weren't worrying about, changing it, matching it, whatever, just like bring it. And how, like, what was your transition then? Like, how short was your hair? Was it an easy transition or did you have long hair
Oh,
back then?
no, it was about here.
Okay.
I was a
So,
little longer. Yeah, I just let it grow in. Yeah, it
Okay.
was cold turkey.
yeah.
And I even remember kind of showing it off, if you can believe that.
Oh,
I even remember showing like this friend of mine, look what I have. And he probably thought, okay, girl, look what you have.
oh my gosh. Well, you were kind of like one of those, I'm going to call it like superheroes before her time when there
Oh,
was no movement or anything. And
no.
so let's move into this movie. Gray is
Okay.
the New Blonde. Let's talk about the inspiration behind that movie and then talk about where women can watch it, get it, and be inspired. Because this is, I have to watch it. I've been, it's been kind of, I've seen the trailers and I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how to get this movie because I'm watching it.
Okay. So when I, after 9/11, I left California I left North Carolina to go to Florida. And in Florida, at one point, I thought, if I dye my hair, I'm going to be able to get more acting jobs. And I dyed my hair and it looked good. It just did not feel like me. So when I looked in the mirror and I saw this face with this darker hair now, I recognized that that person looked good, except it did not look like me. And I felt weird, like that's not who I am, despite looking good or not. It's not who I am. And it was at that moment. And that's why I always say to all the women who say, I'm not sure, I don't know if I like this, don't worry about it. You can always dye it. That's the first thing. And it takes, an hour, you'll be done. But that initial phase of it coming in and you're thinking, I don't know if I can do this. And then you say, all right, I've been here 3-4 months. That's it. I can't do it anymore. And you go and dye it. And many times it's the act of dyeing it again, covering all the beautiful gray and silver, and then looking in the mirror and you realize I've made this huge mistake. And that is what helps women stay and stand firm, because most of us have had to deal with the negative pushback that society so willingly brings to our front door. You cannot do this to your hair. You have to dye your hair. You're going to look old. You're not going to be good enough because you have gray hair now. Oh, it gets me so angry. And who made this rule? Who decided this? Oh, the hair coloring companies. That's who decided. And literally, and you will see in the film that it goes back to the late 1800s. That's what we could find in the research we did. And you'll see in the film, back as far as the late 1800s, women were told you're going to lose your whole life if you don't cover those grays. And it just continued up into the 50s and 60s. And that's when, was it Clairol really, they drove those nails into the coffin. You guys, you cannot have gray hair, because if you do, you're going to lose your whole life. You're going to be ostracized from society. And that's how women started to really believe this, like, oh, I'm going to be horrible, I'm going to be ugly. And the reality is most women end up looking younger. Have you seen the before and afters on Instagram? Holy cow. The reality is you put, okay, so you, me, what do we have? We have this bright light around our face. Why would we want to take the bright light away and cover it? We don't. So when I was getting ready to move from Florida, because I stayed in Florida after I left North Carolina after 9/11. And then I was like, all right, I have to do something to get my career going in this entertainment industry. And so I did a little video called Gray is the New Blonde for my YouTube channel. It's still there to this day. And it was about my gray hair. And all of a sudden I got all this attention, all this engagement, and I only had like 80 followers. I'm like, okay, well, I know this is a lot more than 80 followers. What's going on here? And then I realized I have hit a nerve. People care about women and gray hair. Who knew? I had no idea. Like, why would people care about gray hair? But they did. That's when I learned it. And it was then I'm like, oh, I hit a nerve, but there was nothing I could do about it because I was just a few months away from moving from Florida to California, which is where I am now, which, by the way, I live here now, but it is not my home. And I'm actually most likely not going to stay here for the long term. California is really not, the COVID has not done well for California at all. It's rough. So I made that little 5-minute video, and that's when I thought, okay, I need to do something with this. And it wasn't until I got to California was here for a year, and then decided nothing's happening with my career. I have to do something. And that's when I said, I'm going to make a movie. And that's how Gray is the New Blonde came to be.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So where can women watch it? Where can we make that happen?
Okay, if you don't like commercials, and who does, you can just go to the website and stream it. It's $12.99.
Beautiful. Okay. This is what I'm doing this week. I can't wait. And I'll do a live review on all of my social media feeds after I watch it. So I'm pretty excited about that. So that's pretty simple. Okay. How to get it. I'm excited. So thank you for doing. Yeah. Keep on going.
There is some other ways. If you don't mind commercials, you can actually see it for free on Amazon Prime and Tubi. Either one of those, you can watch it for free with commercials. So both of those options. Just depends on what, if you don't mind commercials, do it that way. If you're like, no, I ain't doing commercials.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Now let's move on to this box. Great. So you earlier on said that you're an entrepreneur. And so it just keeps you up. So let's go in. What is this silver hair box? How can we get it? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Okay, so after COVID and all my beautiful plans that I had for the movie ain't gonna happen now. I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? And it was like, all of a sudden it came to me, what do we all need? We need products, because you go into any group on Facebook. Oh, what about this? What about that? What about my makeup? What about my hair? What my eyebrows? Like what color lipstick? Clothes. So I thought, all right, I got to get a box together that's going to tie in the whole look. So I'm going to do hair care products. And only certified by leapingbunny.org, cruelty free. Leaping Bunny is far superior in terms of the certification aspect than PETA. PETA, the company writes a letter and they're considered cruelty free. That's what Leaping Bunny does, is they make you prove it. They do third-party audits. It's like very extensive. So leapingbunny.org, and their product list is exhaustive. All of the products are going to be cruelty free. I'm also going to have maybe some skincare. I'm not really that much into makeup, lipstick, mascara, maybe some earrings, maybe some hair accessories, maybe some sunglasses. I don't know, a little mix of everything, but everything from here up to bring in that whole beautiful look.
Love it. So is it a surprise box? Is it like is it like a monthly thing, or is it a one-time?
It's going to be every other month. So the pre-launch starts June 14th, and the ship date is August the 15th, whatever Monday that is. So the 15th or the 16th, somewhere right in there. But the thing I'm going to do in the beginning is I'm only going to open it up to 100 members, because I'm all by myself initially until I start to scale where I can hire people. So that means I'm going to have to pack all the boxes. If I try to do more than 100 people, I'm gonna go crazy.
Yeah. That's
And then
amazing.
so I can't wait to get the stuff. Like I'm now sourcing a bunch of products and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get that. Oh, I can't wait to have this. Like, oh, I can't wait to have all these great things. Like, this was a great idea. I love it because now I'm going to get to also have what's in the box, and I'm pumped.
I think that is fantastic. It's so funny. I was giggling as you were saying that because I know you said like from up here, but I was like, I would want your favorite vibrator.
Oh, yeah, like Frankie and Grace, or Grace and Frankie, or whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, send me that.
Yeah, that actually is too big for the box, believe it or not.
Little mini one.
Okay, I'll do a mini one. You know what? That's not bad.
So fun. Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations on that. And where can women get your silver hair box and sign up?
Okay. So the website is still under construction. So, but it will be silverhairbox.com. It's also on Instagram, and it's also on Facebook. And I cross promote. So if they somehow can't remember the name, they'll be able to see it on Gray is the New Blonde, because I'm going to promote it there too.
So good. I love,
and I can't wait.
Right? Like that is so incredible. I love just everything that you're doing behind this movement. You're going to go down in history as being like the woman. She did it. She brought a new awareness to the younger generation that doesn't have to battle the way that we've had to battle. So kudos to you, and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. But honestly, if it wasn't for everybody else in the tribe, I couldn't do it without everybody. So I can't take that much credit, really, because we're all in this together. We're all a tribe, and that's how I'm able to do what I do. And I'm so excited. I really think, you know, that saying, the future is female, it really is. And this is a very exciting time for women and to be female. So we're making great strides. And I'm excited.
So good. Any last final words to a woman that will be watching this and saying, I'm thinking about it, but I'm scared I'm going to look old and get treated differently?
Okay, so I guess the best approach is you can always diet, and you will not know if it's right for you unless you go through the process. And if you get to go through the process and you realize, I don't really like this, great, no worries. Gray is not for everyone. It should just be a choice, and it should be a choice that is not met with so much negative pushback. And if you don't like your gray hair, no worries, continue to dye it. But if you are not sure, give yourself a chance. And as you'll see in the movie by Lorraine Massey, she wrote, she's part of Curly World. Well, she is Curly World. You know Lorraine Massey, and she wrote the Silver Hair book. So is that the name of it? The Silver Hair book? I didn't realize. I have to go look. Gray hair book.
Silver. Yeah.
I got to look. But anyway, she said, you don't want to, and it's true, you don't want to just give it a few inches, because you're not going to be able to see how really nice it is. You have to give it many, many, many months. Let it come through and then decide. And you can always wear hats, scarves. A lot of women cut it cold turkey, cut it short and just do this pixie. Other women go cold turkey and they just let it grow in. You just have to find what's going to work for you, really. And I think that's it. I would say give it a shot, and if you don't like it, you can always dye it.
I love it. Great advice. So many different options for you to try it. And I like your advice of like not giving up. I think a lot of women get to kind of like this and go, oh, I don't think I'll like it. And I would have said the same thing too, because when I was coming in, I was very white here. I was very dark here. Even my hairdresser was like, Nicole, you're like only 80%. You're going to have these dark, weird patches back here. And like, it's just gonna, and like, she was like, ooh. And I said, well, let's just keep on going and see what happens. And, you know, I'm so glad that I never like listened to her being concerned that it might not look good. I just went for it, and I absolutely love it. People think I look younger. I look at myself when old photos come up on Facebook and I'm like, oh my gosh, who was that person? I was like, I don't even recognize you. It's a different person. And I don't think I would ever give this up anymore.
I
love,
know.
it's
I
like you said, a light. You're a lighthouse when you go out there to the world. Your face is brighter, it softens it, and it's
Yes.
unique. Your color is unique. And you know what? Uniqueness is good in a world where
Yes.
everybody wants you to stay in the box. And we don't want to be in the box.
And so I read this and I now use this because it's so on point. Why fit in when you can stand out?
Exactly.
Right?
There you go. I love
Like
that.
you were saying, uniqueness. I'm all into being unique for sure.
Exactly.
And you know what? Every woman has darker hair back here. Even I do. Underneath, it is dark.
Mhm.
That's just the way. And it's so interesting. Most women will have this one, like this little patch right here. Like here's my little dark patch. Most women will have like some little dark patch. It's real, very, very interesting the way gray hair grows in.
It is. It's fun to see and witness. Well, thank you so much, Victoria, for joining
thank
us.
you.
And I'm so excited to get this interview out to the world and get people watching your inspirational biography and getting your silver hair box. I think that's going to be fantastic. Thank you, everyone,
thank
for
you.
tuning in. And again,
you.
make sure you go to the Gorgeous Gray Movement, tune into our YouTube channel. And of course, you want to follow Victoria Marie on IGT. It's just her name, victoriamarie.ig. And I will be posting her handle down below so that you can easily find her and get all of her wonderful tools that she has to help you transition. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.